What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Wanna Go Fishing. I am your host, Willie, and I would like to welcome you to the first official tailgate talk on the tailgate of Mr. T. That's right, it's his first official tailgate talk. And what we're going to talk about is not only his tailgate, it's going to be him. There's been several episodes involving Mr. T since we drug him out of Daryl's backyard. There's been fuel pumps and fuel filters, plugs, wires, rotors, caps, oil changes, a little bit of everything to get him to where he is right now, with the major part of that being the timing chain replaced, oil pump, water pump, gears up front there, timing gear, crank gear, guides, tensioner, all of that replaced. So I have been driving him since we got him back and forth to work every day, every afternoon, for last week anyway. And he's been doing fine. Now that's the big thing, was drive him around here locally, see how he's going to do. And so far he is passing with flying colors. So, is that the final saga? Is this the final episode? No, it's not, because there are still things on Mr. T that need to be taken care of that will probably be in parts of episodes and things like that. The shocks, they're original to the truck, okay? Gotta replace those. The tires, even though the tires still have great tread on them and Daryl bought them brand new, they got some age on them. And with age comes the dry rot and the cracks and everything. So they're still pretty flexible. I've been driving on them and they've been doing okay, but for any real long distance driving, I don't know that I want to take a chance on one of these. It's a 31 1050 15. I don't want it to come apart. I don't know if anybody has ever seen a tire come apart, especially something that large, on something as small as this and this thin. Can really do some damage. So you don't want that. So I will be looking into some tires. BF Goodrich is what's on it. They're all-terrain radials, which everybody and their mother has had at one time or another on a truck, or whatever, a Jeep, something. So there are things that need to be on here. So the episodes are not over by far, because the reasoning behind Mr. T was as follows. I needed something small, good on gas, and preferably four-wheel drive to go some places that Booger couldn't go. Because, you know, Booger was a 1968 full-size C10 pickup truck, two-wheel drive. There's a lot of places he just couldn't go. So, what are we out here for? Why are we tailgate talking today? Poof, just like that, we're on another tailgate. It's just crazy how many tailgates you can find if you really look hard enough. Why are we here on this tailgate? Well, I'm going to tell you why. I get asked a lot of questions about the old stuff that I use. First question I always get asked is, why do you use it? That's a good question. I just like it. I enjoy it. It's fun. Some of it really works really good if you give it a chance. You just got to give it a shot. You can't shoot something down you don't know anything about. Now, maybe you're older like myself and you have used it through the years and you did find out that, hey, technology is a great thing and I think I'm going to appreciate it now and stop using this old stuff. Okay, well that's cool, I get that. But the thing I get asked the most is with spincast, believe it or not, spincast reels. Zebco, Johnson, Garcia. There's a bunch of them that were out there through the years. Shakespeare was doing it, Dyer was doing it, everybody had a little bit of that. But in my world, there was three major names that I used, and that was Zebco, Johnson, and Garcia. Garcia Mitchell, Abu Garcia, however you want to put it. There was a Garcia in there somewhere. So I brought three of my vintage spincast reels. Now, from what I'm seeing, to me, it really wasn't the reel that was the problem as much as it was the rod. A lot of the old school rods, the handles were really short. I mean, I'm not a big guy, 5'8", 165. My hand is not huge, it's a little wide, but I don't know how a big guy would have used these little old things. But I've got three of them here and they all date back to the 80s and earlier, okay? So we're gonna give these a try. Show you the first one we're gonna throw. your old school Zebco 33. Okay? The old Zebco 33, and it's actually on a matching Zebco. This is a 5'6" heavy action, is what they call this. Trust me, people, there's nothing heavy about the action on this rod. I hope there isn't anything very heavy on the other end of the action of this rod, because if there is, it's going to be quite amusing. So anyway, that's the first one that we have. The second one is really my favorite. The Garcia 120 Abomatic. Man, just fun reel to use. Now this is on a Bass Pro Shops Classic 200. This is not that older rod, but I had to try to find something that compared to the older school rods that I had on the other ones. That's the best I could do. It's not the best that a lot of y'all could have probably done, but for me to make it comparable, I had to do that. Anyway, the next one's going to be the old Johnson Century. This is the model 100B. Did a video on this not too long back. Very fun reel to use, casts a really long way. Got it on the old cherry wood. Let's just go with these three, and I'm going to give you my take on the three of them, whether you like it or not. Here's our arsenal. Now, I've already got a rod and reel down there. Let's go down there and see if we can catch us a bluegill or something close thereof. We're going to be using the 120, and we're going to be doing some bobbering here. There's a huge carp that just swam underneath of my bobber. Please, Mr. Carp. Oh, we're bobbing. We're bobbing. Oh, we missed him. And we're still bobbing. There we go. Oh, no. How did that happen? He really took off with that, too. Oh, we're bobbing again. Oh, yeah, we got one. We got one. All right. And see, man, this thing is just as smooth reeling these fish in as it is casting them. There we go. Hope you can see that. Catching gills with bobbers. And well, that's gonna hurt. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but gill got me. I've had a terrible time with hooks here recently. Okay, so we're back out here again. All I can tell you, people, is if you're going to fish, at some point you're going to get a hook in your finger. Now, are you going to get a hook in your finger as frequently as I seem to for some reason? I probably, maybe, hopefully not. But I went for years and years and years and never had one in my finger, but here recently. We're going to try Johnson Century. We got a little Roadrunner jig there with a Bobby Garland on. I'm sorry, not a Bobby Garland, Charlie Brewer. I am going to say that the Johnson Century is, the Johnson Century and the Garcia, they're just the smoothest you can get. I mean, that thing casts a mile, seems to really operate quite well. That and the Abomatic 120. For some reason, there's a 5-gallon bucket. There we go. There we go. All we had to do was change colors. Come on in here, jumping bass. Yep, we changed colors and look what we did. Ain't big, but a little bit of a color change. Now, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Don't put a hook in the foam, all right? You tried. I asked you politely. And there we go. So I decided I was going to break out the newer 170, and things happened. just a little bass, but things happen. Come here. A little gun shy now. I've had two thumbs with 2 hooks on them. There you go. Now, we're going to talk about all of these reels here at the end, because I wanted to bring modern as well as old. Dang. Oh, that's grass. Oh, see, that was quick. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. What do we get? What do we get? What is this? Oh, looky there. Man, you took that in. Now, how am I supposed to get to that? There we go. That's a good sized gill there. Smoke with sparkle. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. We got us, I'm sure, a gill. Fight me, gill. Come on, gill. Fight me. Fight me. Show me what you have. What do you have? Nothing. Come here. Gill. Okay, I think we have proven that this thing will catch bluegills. Let's throw this Zebco that I have nicknamed Squeaky for obvious reasons. One of Squeaky's major problems is distance of cast. He really just doesn't put it out there. But then again, the rod that I'm using isn't the greatest thing going either. But it was kind of the combo of the day. Oh, there we go. There we go. Come on, Zeb. Come on, Zeb. You got him, Zeb. Come on, Zeb. There we go. That's what we were looking for. Wow, what a pretty fish. This thing has got incredible blue markings. Wow. Come here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but man, that's an incredible looking marking all over him. Y'all can see that because I got this head thing on. Anyway, Zeb got one. Got a bass. Thank you, big fella. That was, man, that was fun. That was really fun. Sometimes there ain't nothing better than bringing a fish in on something, or yeah, using something that really most likely would never have saw the light of day again. Okay, after watching that last reel, I realized that I got the camera aimed up too high. I really don't like this head thing. If some of y'all use it and enjoy it, well, more power to you, but I'm not digging it much. I like the chest one better. But no, I left it at home. What we're doing now is setting up the abomatic, taking the bobber off. Wow, I put that on there bad. We know they'll bobbers work. Bobbers and hooks work. We know that. They catch fish, they catch people. Oh, got a hit. Oh, we got him. We got him. He was in them bushes. He was in them bushes. A crappie? Over there? What are you doing? Are you lost? I don't know if I've ever, since I've been fishing in this place, I've ever caught a crappie right against the bushes like that. Not big, but he was there. It's hard to cast around these bushes when, there we go, right at the bank. Right at the bank. You go, Abomatic. That's enough of that. That will be about, come here. Stop. Be about enough of that nonsense. Another little bass. Yep, there you go. First cast with the threadfin shad. Now, he ain't a monster, but yes, first cast with that. Come here, little fella. Yeah. Might have been more fish in here than we thought. I'm gonna get over here closer to the water so I can get you in. There you go. Oh, wow, that's a good fish. Wow. Oh, that's not a good fish. I just got to remember what I'm fishing with. There's two. In all the places we just fished. Man, looks like something took a chunk out of you. He hit like he was a whole lot more fish than he was. See ya. There we go. There we go. Oh, man. He really wanted that bait. Oh, really wanted it out of his mouth too. Now I gotta try to get down there where he's at. Little largemouth. See ya. All right, here we are. We are back at the camper. Back on the tailgate of a golf cart. We're gonna talk about this fancy lineup that I have sitting behind me back here and what we think of them. First off, let me just say we're dealing with some vintage equipment here. That should say it all, because vintage means lack of technology, even though in that time frame there was a lot of technology. At least they thought so. So we're going to start off with the least technical out of the entire group, okay? Which is going to be this little Zepco 33. We're going to talk about the combo setup that it's on. We're going to talk about the reel first and then this rod. The reel is a Zebco 33. That says it all right there. Now, through the years, Zebco has had many versions of the Zebco Model 33. They're not super fantastic, you know, they're not going to go out here and catch whales and, you know, all that. People have probably done it, and it was probably a struggle. But these things weren't made for that. This was usually where everybody started. It's clunky, it makes a lot of noise. The little push button occasionally would get off to one side and it wouldn't, you know, push, and then it would release and just drop the bait and you wouldn't hold it in place. It's got its faults, but it, all in all, to take and do with it what we did today was fun. It was fun, okay? Will you take this out every time you go? No. Not going to happen. If it's all you got, maybe. But other than that, no. So, it was fun. It caught some fish. It was enjoyable. I'm going in reverse order here of what I liked the least. Okay? Last place falls to Zebco 33 here. Does its job, but it is the difference between a Model T and the Lamborghini. You know, that's just the way it is. This does the job, point A to point B. All right, now let's talk about this rod real quick. Now, I want you to do me a favor here. I want you to take a good look at it. I want you to read that if you can. That is a Zebco. It says heavy action, 5'6", model 4038. Now take a good look at that. Got those red stripes on it like that. It's gray. Got some decent eyelets on it. Take a really good look at it, all right? If you see one of these at a yard sale or a flea market or whatever, buy this. Give the people the money for it, and then I want you to take it and snap it right over your right leg in two, okay? Then ask the people politely where the closest garbage can is, because you're going to be doing somebody a favor by not letting them buy this pile of junk. That's the crappiest fishing rod that I've ever used in my life. It is a hard plastic handle that's just barely big enough for your hand. The only good thing that it did do was it did lock the reel in place really well. That was it. For something that's heavy duty, oh my gosh, I mean, there was a couple times I casted this thing, I thought it was going to come all the way back around and hit me in the thighs or something. It's just a terrible, terrible rod. So please buy this thing if somebody's selling it, and break it in half and throw it in the garbage can so no one else ever has to endure owning that rod right there. Strangely enough, this is not the order I thought this would come in. Abumatic 120. Okay, I am an avid Abu Garcia or Garcia Mitchell or Garcia reel person. I love them. Okay, this is the one that we had the bobber and the hook on. It does that well, very well. You can tell that it is above and beyond bobber and hook, but it is a very, very good bobber and hook reel. I also caught some good fish with it using the old what is that? That's the which one is that? Oh yeah, that's the threadfin shad from Bass Pro Shops, Crappie Max. This thing's great. I love it. It is a smooth reel for its age. It does cast well. I got 6-pound line on here. That is Mr. Crappie line on it. It did great. It does seem, now this is a more modern rod. This is a Bass Pro Shops Classic 200 series, which is basically bottom of the line. I mean, I don't even know if this thing was 12 bucks. You know, I'm not sure. But to find this style of rod anymore, you seem to only find the cheapies. That's all you find. So I can move this up to a different rod and probably have a pretty good time with it. But this rod, or this reel, was smooth, but not as smooth. Okay, fun to fish with. I enjoyed it. It was great. It did its job, and it did it very well. Now let's go on to the next one. All right, in the vintage selection that we had here today, this one took number one. I mean, can't say good enough stuff about it. Johnson Century Model 100B. It did really well. Cast really far. Internally, it was smoother retrieve than the other two by far on the Zebco. I mean, leaps and bounds over the Zebco. The only downfall that I see to these are their drag system. Okay, their drag system is right here, and it's nothing more than a piece of plastic that the more you turn this dial, the harder it presses that little piece of plastic up against the spool. That's pretty much it. So a couple fish that I caught with it, she's just about buried. It's on 8, just about on 8. But as far as fun to use, this one was a blast. I enjoyed that. Especially now, let's talk about rods real quick. I have this on a Berkley Cherry Rod. Now this is an older rod I've had, and I've used it in a few other videos. Let's go with it here. CRC1 0 to 5'6", or CRC10 5'6", medium action. This has got some kind of foam padded style, almost feels like velour, fine Corinthian velour on here. Perfect size for the hand. I do not have a huge hand, okay, but that one was perfect. The only thing I wish they would have done different on this reel, excluding the drag, if you look at the button, it's concaved, it's dipped in the middle. Your thumb seems to rest on the lip, not in the middle. It rests on the lip. So after a while, you wind up with this almost bruise across the tip of your finger from using it. But that's because you use it so much, you love it. Who cares if it hurts? And I'm serious, I didn't care that it hurt. It was actually hard to put this one down and just switch to the other two. So there you go. That's my first, second, and third. First, my Johnson Century 100B. That's number one. I brought the new Abumatic 170 because I really wanted to see the difference. I wanted to see, is there, yeah, there's a difference. Very much so. These are really good reels. I mean, really good. I like using them. You can get these guys on Amazon. I think they're still selling them on Amazon. I'm going to check and see because I really would like to have another one. just in case, because it seems like everything that I've ever bought that I really like, eventually someone stops selling them, or they go out of business, or they discontinue the line, or something goofy like that. Even though the 170 has been around for an extremely long time, it could happen. So, and they're not made in Sweden anymore. They're made in China. But regardless, I'm assuming that Abu Garcia has a pretty good line of quality. They got somebody that's staring these people down and going, oh no, it's going to be better than that. Because this is a good reel. I think they fall into the $45 range or something like that. And really, for push button at a decent price, spincast, you can't go wrong with that. If you haven't tried this and you got some money, you just burning a hole in your pocket, you know, and it won't hurt you to get one, you know, give it a try. You might find out it's a lot more fun than you think. Just saying. You don't have to. It might suck. You might hate it. You might blame me. You might buy one and go, man, this thing's terrible. I like it. It's personal opinion. So anyway, there you go. That's the best I got for you on those 4 rod and reel combo setups. I enjoyed this. This was fun catching these fish. Whether it was a bobber and a hook or a hook and the thumb. Not sure how I keep doing that. But anyway, I had a good time. Hope you had a good time watching this video. And we'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. I'm going fishing right now. Because I can right there.